Hi guys, you are welcome to another episode of Relufe Review, a show where we objectively review the Nigerian art, music, movies, and entertainment in general. Like I always say before I further ahead, please note that all the views and opinions that I express here are all mine and my personal biases alone. They're not set by any standard, they're not set by any measures. On that note, my name is AY with a double O, and let's get right into the movie for today. The movie we are going to be reviewing today is none other than that movie that you have not gone to the cinema to see. I'm going to the cinema to watch it, and it's such an amazing biopic. It's a beautiful movie. I know you know what I want to call already. It is none other than Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. Now, before I review this movie, I have to first apologize on behalf of all primary school teachers who told us that Funmilayo Ransome Kuti was the first woman to drive a car. Of all the amazing things that she did, the only thing they could single out was that she was the first woman to drive a car. I do not know why, but I'm guessing it's because that's the only knowledge that they have as well. Is what they know that they tell us. So I think at that point, that's the only thing that they did know about Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. Much later, of course, I found out that she was the mother, of course, the surname matched, so I found out that she was the mother of late Afrobeat legend, Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Of course, I wasn't sure because of the Anikulapo thing. Much later, I realized that, Fela was the one that calls himself Anikulapo, meaning he has death in his pouch. Let's take away that and look at who Funmilayo Ransome Kuti is and the amazing things that she did for the Egba women. And of all those things, the only thing they could tell us was that she was the first woman to drive the car. That's very disrespectful to her and to her legacy. But of course, let me give a quick plot of the story before I go ahead into the rating criteria. The plot of the story, of course, it's a biopic, non-fiction. It's an original story. It tells the story of Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, her journey, her career. It talks about her marriage, but most importantly, the movie is all about feminism and, of course, injustice as well. It tells the story of Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, her childhood, memories, and how things that happened in her childhood shaped her to the woman that she much later became in life, and how she helped other women. And I saw through that plot that if women come together, there are so many things, so many amazing things that can be achieved. And that's what we saw in the story. That's all the plot, it's all about. It's all about Funmilayo Ransome Kuti's life and how she was able to, save the women of Egba from, of course, the Alaki of Egba land. And so many amazing things surrounding that plot. But let me go, of course, straight into the rating criteria of the movie. For the plot of the story, I would say that it's a biopic, original story, and for most biopics, of course, they are going to be told the way that, it happened. It's an original story. So for the plot of the movie, they portrayed it like the story that after seeing the movie, I had to go back to read about it, and what was in that story was exactly what they portrayed in that movie. They didn't take one thing out and they didn't add a single thing to it. I would have preferred a little bit of suspense, but of course it's a biopic, you can't blame them. They have to tell the story as it is. So for the plot of the story, I'd say that it was a job well done. I'll give it a 9.5 over 10, just because I want to be a bit stingy with that mark. The plot was good. For the theme of the movie, I saw injustice, I saw feminism, and at some point in the movie moved me to tears. Like, when you're looking at a movie, you're seeing a movie and you're almost crying. I wanted to jump into the screen because at that point, it seemed like it was so real, like I was present in that time, and if the theme of the movie is well portrayed, how else do we score such a movie? For the theme of the movie, I'll give it a good 9 over 10. For the acting of the movie, I'd say that the cast, they were veteran actors. We had the likes of Adebayo Salami, who played the role of the Alaki of the Gbaland. We had Jide Kosoko. We had Dele Odule. Those were the Joys, the Kingsmen, and all of that. The Chiefs, rather, and all of that. They were veteran actors. We have Kehinde Bankole played the role of the younger Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. We have Joke Silva play the older Funmilayo Ransome Kuti as well. And I'll say that this woman, I don't know, it seems like it seemed like they were the real Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. The younger Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, Kehinde Bankole, looked like the real Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. The older one, Joke Silva, also looks like Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. For the casting, I'll say that they were not just choosy with actors, they used actors that, seemed that resemble, they worked resemblance as well, which is also a very good thing with the, casting of the movie. So I'll say for the casting, it was good. Now back to the acting of the movie. Great actors, amazing actors. Kehinde Bankole moved me to tears in that movie, but because of course we saw more of Kehinde Bankole than the older version, which was Joke Silva. The acting of the movie was great, from the young Funmilayo Ransome Kuti to the older Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. Ibrahim Suleiman did an amazing job. I'll say that I have my own bias against Ibrahim Suleiman, but I saw, at some point in the movie, it seemed as though he wasn't really supporting his wife, but somewhere in the movie, he sprang up, and I could see that it was just a beautiful acting. For the acting of the movie, I'll give it a 9/10. From Funmilayo to the women to their extra, cast, the extras in the movie, they all did an amazing job. For the dialogue of the movie, I would say that the conversations were genuine. The conversations were much needed in the movie. Every conversation, every dialogue was important to the tone, to Funmilayo Ransome Kuti switching for someone that had traveled at some point, came back to Belkuta. She had that blend of, Queen's English, and I heard her speak the Egba dialect, and I'm like, what exactly is going on here? I had to question if she's really from that part of Nigeria. For the dialogue of the movie, they all did an amazing job for the dialogue of the movie. But I'd say that for the women council, which were the elite women, some conversations were not really, it was dragging. It seemed as though it was going to drag the movie. Some of the women were either, overplaying it or underplaying it. Some I had not seen before, in movies generally. So I'd say that maybe my bias is because I'm seeing them for the first time. The elite women who were the ones that formed the Women's Society initially, before Funmilayo Ransome Kuti asked that, they all add other women, and even the less privileged, let them all, come together. For the elite women, I'll say that, at that part, I wasn't really, the movie seemed a bit like it seemed like it was dragging us away there was a bit of distraction with the elite women thing. But for the dialogue of the movie, I'll give it a good 8/10. For the cinematography of the movie, the sound, the editing, and all of that, it was a great job. Beautiful movie, beautiful cinematography. It was showing us the 1947 revolt, when the women revolted, and of course that led to the abdication of the Alake of Egbaland, which Adebayo Salami played. The cinematography was indeed good. It was good. It showed us the past. It was as though we were there. It was as though I was in 1947, seeing what was happening, the visual storytelling. It was a great movie. So for the cinematography and the editing, I'll give it an 8.5/10. For the sound of the movie, it was good music. It set the tone for that feminism and injustice thing. And at some point in the movie, of course, like I said earlier, I did cry in the movie. And I looked at the Alake of Egbaland like, how can you be such a cruel king to the people, placing heavy taxation on the women, forcing them to pay, sending them away from the market, placing heavy taxation on the women, saying 10% increase today, adding to the percentage tomorrow, and all of that. And Funmilayo coming back every day to beg, okay, these women are going through a lot, she even went ahead, because it seemed like slavery is slavery. These people were being enslaved, but then you are also using the same king to also now enslave his people, because at the end of the day, it still all bounce back to colonialism, and it takes us back to slavery. Overall, it still takes us back to slavery, how the whites still had a say in what the king was even doing to his own people, and all of that. And I'll say that it was really a weak king. It was a weak king who eventually ran away, and the way he left the throne was rather sad. It's rather a sad way for a king that has been showing that, I'm a strong king, I'm a warrior, I'm not going to leave, and at the end of the day, women still chased you away. And my question at some point in the movie is, what happened to the men in this movie? Because I saw Funmilayo coming together to say, oh, we're fighting for this, we're fighting for that. At any point, these market women had husbands, I presume. They were not unmarried women. They were married, they had children, they had husbands. I don't know if it was the story that didn't tell us what the husbands did, or if the men just didn't have a say at that time, because I want to know what exactly happened, with the men in the movie. Was it that they were not able to stand up or fight for their wives, or what exactly happened there? But what I saw was that women were just being looked down on, and Funmilayo Ransome Kuti at some point was able to, even put the women, let them have a place in the governing council, cancel, because of course she went ahead to ask, okay, they don't even have an Iyaloja. And at that point, it seemed that the men are just taking over and they didn't want the women to have a say at all. They looked down on the women. If they didn't want them to have a say, it would have been better. But they were taking from them. They were taking away from their sweat, which was, of course, a weak thing for men to do. And it was beautiful to see that she was able to fight for injustice in that, community. And what she did for the women was a beautiful thing. And what I also saw with that movie was that when women come together, when they indeed come together to unite, you can't tell the power of a woman. I'm not saying this because I'm a woman, but that movie really brought out how powerful women are, even in the society. Women are really powerful. If you don't know, I must say, women are indeed powerful. For the it factor of the movie and the directing of the movie, of course, directed by Bolali Austin Peters. Bolali never, she doesn't disappoint. That's what I'll just say. She doesn't disappoint. If you think that I'm being biased, I don't know, but Bolali doesn't disappoint. It was a good storytelling. What's the plot of the movie and the acting and the team, all these things in this sync, it only means that the director did a good job, especially with the casting. It was a great movie. And also, I would say that the production of the movie to directing to the writing, it was written by Tunde Babalola. The writer had a great vision. Even the producer had a great vision, because what we've heard about Funmilayo Ransome Kuti is that she was the first one to drive the car. Now you're taking us back to our story. You are bringing her back. You're letting our legacies, like bringing a legacy that has been forgotten. Because apart from that, I know her as Fela's mother, and the fact that she was thrown from a 2-story building down the stairs, by soldiers who had come to look for Fela in the house. That's another thing that I heard about Funmilayo Ransome Kuti up until I watched the movie. That's all that I've heard about her. So bringing back that story and also seeing our grandchild, Yeni Kuti, play a role in that movie, for me, it was a big deal. This is not just a movie. This is even the family coming together to say that we accept this story. We want to also, talk about our grandmother. It was something interesting to watch. It was really emotional for me. I cried. I mean, the movie really moved me to tears because it was an original movie. I could almost relate to the movie like I was there back in that year. For the it factor, is a one of the kind of biopic. I mean, I've seen so many Nigerian biopics, I've seen Nollywood biopics, but this is something new. This is not just a story. This is something to learn from, even for women in the society. For the younger women coming up, they can look and see that movie and learn a lot from it, and also see that, I want to be like this person. If this person did it, I can do it better even now. So overall, from this end, Funmilayo Ransome Kuti gets a good 9/10. If you have not seen that movie, you should definitely go to the cinema to see it. A lot of people just wait, at the corners of their homes. You say it's a cinema movie. Although I won't worry about it. It will come out. I'll see it. People will later see it. It's not about seeing it. See it at the right time. Go to the cinema, see that movie, enjoy it. It's a movie that you should watch. Of course, how much more in the cinema, relax with the AC, chilling and all of that stuff. See the movie. It's a great movie. So many lessons to be learned, especially if you're a lady out there. You should. There's no way you're a lady and you've not seen Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. There's so much that you can learn from that amazing woman. Apart from the fact that our primary school teachers, of course, told us that she was the first woman to drive a car. And beyond that, she is late Afrobeat legend, mother, Fela Kuti. Funmilayo Ransome Kuti is indeed a name that must not be forgotten in Nigeria. Overall, he gets a 9/10 from this end. Let me know if you agree or you disagree with my final verdict on the movie. If you have not seen it, or rush down to the cinema to go and see it. And if you have seen it, if you agree or you disagree with my final verdict, let me know in the comment box. Do not forget to like, do not forget to share, do not forget to subscribe across all social media platforms. It is at Relufe TV. Until I come your way again next time, of course, with another amazing movie. My name is AY with a double O, and I'll see you on another episode.